up, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Now, coming up on today's show, I want to get you guys everything I'm hearing from the Vikings Browns joint practice that just wrapped up in Cleveland, Ohio, as we do unfortunately have some injury news around Jordan Addison as he was carted off the practice field. Now, we don't have any new news around, how severe the injury is or anything like that. So I highly encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button, because once we get news around Jordan Addison and, whatever is going on with his situation, I will have a video for you guys ASAP. Hit that sub button and, hey, help us hit 28,000 subs here on the channel. I put that as the goal before week 1 of the NFL season, hitting 28K for Adrian Peterson. But let's dive into the news and notes and highlights from this practice. So the biggest takeaway, Jordan Addison. Alec Lewis tweeted it out. He said wide receiver Jordan Addison just went down. He leapt for a contested ball and he was hobbling off with trainers, and now he is on a cart being carted off. So no update after that. Also some other injury news. Thayer Thomas was also carted off. So this Vikings wide receiver room, the injury bug is absolutely plaguing this unit. And if you would remove Addison from this lineup, as he is already, as he already has a 3-game suspension looming from the DUI incident that went down at LAX, besides Justin Jefferson, you are really banking on guys like Jalen Nailor, Trent Sherfield. I would have said Thayer Thomas, but Jashawn Jones. You are banking on a lot of UDFA's late-round draft picks, but to potentially be your wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3 on the season. If I were the Vikings, with everything that has been going down as of late, I am benching the key guys for the rest of the preseason. I am benching Christian Darrisaw. There is no need to see him out there even during joint practices. I understand you want to get great reps against Myles Garrett, for example, but just the risk reward here just isn't in favor of the Vikings. Even a guy like Josh Oliver, like the best run blocking tight end in the National Football League, I would even put him on ice until week 1, because the injury bug is here. And, obviously it's not contagious, but it feels contagious with our Vikings right now. So Jordan Addison, Thayer Thomas, they were both carted off at joint practice today. But some more takeaways from specifically the 11-on-11 period. I do have a bunch of Browns beat reporters takeaways I want to get to, but one guy did tweet out Minnesota would have done better with cones at left tackle and right tackle against Myles Garrett today. This is obviously disappointing news and a disappointing performance stay out there in the practice field for guys like Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill, as, I'm not anticipating them to win the matchup potentially against the best defensive player in the National Football League in Myles Garrett, but I would have expected at least Darrisaw to hold his own a little bit. But getting word that Myles Garrett was cooking him today during practice is incredibly, incredibly disappointing. And also this, after the Thayer Thomas injury, Kevin O'Connell went out to midfield to talk to Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator for the Browns, as it was a very physical practice, and one player just yelled at the Vikings offense, "Y'all can't catch a cold, man." Browns, they're getting chippy. They're, puffing their chest out a little bit as that defense, dominated the first joint practice between the two ball clubs. So very disappointing on the Vikings front. Would have liked them to, kind of rally the troops together. And I will make this note. Trent Sherfield was catching a bunch of long passes on the sideline. He had a pretty solid day, but Jefferson was yelling and trying to get people going. If there is one person who I'm feeling for in this situation, a person who is an ultra competitor, who, will do anything to win in the NFL, it is Justin Jefferson. And I'm sure he's feeling the pressure of J.J. McCarthy out for the year. He just saw his, best friend, teammate, wide receiver 2, Jordan Addison, get carted off. I'm sure he's just trying to, bring some juice to this unit and, really motivate this Vikings offense, because somebody is going to have to do that. And Jefferson is trying his best. So with everything going on today, I honestly just feel bad for number 18. He is an ultra competitor, and, I am sure maybe he didn't think the Vikings were going to, for sure make a Super Bowl run and maybe win the Super Bowl this year. But I'm sure Jefferson wanted them to at least compete in the NFC North and compete for a playoff spot. And I'm sure he's looking around saying, we're dropping like flies. I'm going to need to have to be even better than I thought I was going to have to be this season for the Vikings just to do anything during the year. Now, we will get to some notes about the Vikings defenses. They actually did not have, the worst day in the world. We'll talk about how they went up against the Cleveland Browns first team offense in 11-on-11 period here in a second. But first off, I got to give a massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. If you guys want to add more juice to any sporting event you are watching, PrizePicks is the best way to do so. So PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it is just you against the numbers, and all you do is you pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you can watch the winnings roll in today. So get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. I already have a lineup for week 1 of the football season. I'm rolling with the more on Caleb Williams passing yards, more on Justin Jefferson receiving yards, and the more on DJ Moore receiving yards as well. So download PrizePicks today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks. Run your game. So let's talk about how the Vikings defense matched up against the Browns first team offense. So there was in total 6 snaps, 6 plays that they played. The first one against the first team offense was a false start, so win for the Vikings defense. And then the next 2 plays, Watson was sacked by a free blitzer. Shout out to Brian Flores for that one. You obviously know Flores. I'm guessing this was a situation. He lined 7 guys up, 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage. Watson had to pick and choose who was coming, and he probably didn't make the right call, and Vikings had a free blitzer in. But then the next play after that, Watson was sacked again, and he had pressure off the left side. So that's good news there. Vikings pass rush getting home. As I will make this note, I've talked about this here on the channel a couple times. I think the Vikings edge department is extremely underrated in terms of like what the mass NFL media thinks of it. I think obviously when you see them lose Danielle Hunter this offseason, you're just assuming they got worse, but I actually think they got a whole lot better. I think Van Ginkel is a great scheme fit with Flores. I obviously, big fan of Jonathan Grenard. He had 12.5 sacks last year. He's a true, first edge rusher on a defense. But then you mix in guys like Bo Richter, Gabe Murphy, Andre Carter, like these young UDFAs who are hungry to get reps in the NFL. I think the Vikings pass rush is going to be fantastic this season. But the Browns first team offense carried on for the next 3 plays. He hit his running back out of the backfield, Ford, on a short gain off the right side. And then he also had a short gain to Njoku in the flat. And then the last play of this, it was a strong tackle for loss off the right side. So 6 plays. It was a false start, 2 checkdowns, 2 sacks, and a TFL. Vikings defense dominated that first team offense for the Cleveland Browns. But actually Kevin Stefanski, former Vikings coach, said today wasn't a great day for pass protection for his team, attributing it to miscommunications for Cleveland as well as a strong Vikings defensive effort. As I am getting updates on the Jordan Addison ankle injury, this was coming in from Jeremy Fowler. The initial belief is Jordan Addison's ankle injury from the Vikings-Browns joint practice is not serious, but he won't practice tomorrow. So positive news there. Jordan Addison, it looks like he avoided a major injury, but he is not going to practice tomorrow, but it is an ankle injury. It is believed to not be serious. So that's coming in from Jeremy Fowler, which is obviously good news because of, for some reason, if Jordan Addison was going to have to miss maybe half the year or the whole season, you're looking at this wide receiver group a whole lot differently. So Vikings kind of avoid a major injury scare there. I don't anticipate to see him in the preseason at all, as I think that would be a smart choice for the Vikes if they just put a lot of these main guys on ice and don't risk, further injury. But actually some Browns injury news. Denzel Ward was put in the concussion protocol for Cleveland. So, he's been dealing with injury bug his entire career. So Overall, both offenses looked bad today. First-team defenses for both organizations really got after it. But, if you want to take a negative view, Vikings offense looked bad. Addison was carted off, but he avoided a major injury. And then, if you want to take a positive view on it, I'll tell you what, Vikings defense looks good. It's the one positive of this team right now is seeing Brian Flores maybe work his way into getting the head coaching job this upcoming season. But I do just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's show. Just want to get you guys the top takeaways from the Vikings Browns joint practice that just wrapped up. So shout out to all of you guys for tuning in. And if you guys made it to the end of today's show, just give me a skull down below in the comment section as we try to remain positive as Vikings fans, as yes, the Jordan Addison injury is an ankle injury, but is believed not to be serious. So that is good news there. But thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.